Shadowlands is a crazy good time for gearing up in PvP, but it's also super intimidating for new players, as well as the ones who have never stepped foot into these waters. That's why we'll be going over some key add-ons that are beginner friendly and that'll make your whole PvP experience a lot less stressful. My name is Ivona, and if this is your first time here, it's a good idea to sub, as I do a bunch of super simple WoW guides that help new, returning, and undergeared players get those easy wins with their classes and specs while getting cool mounts and achievements along the way. If you're into that kind of thing, I'm sure you'll love it here. Before we begin, I'd like to point out that this is truly really made for inexperienced PvP players, and the list doesn't involve complete UI transformers, for example like ElvUI, since that's not really a beginner's add-on. It does contain plenty of options that add-ons from my list have, but if you're not ready to fully customize your UI yet, I think you'll love these lightweight options. Also, I will not be getting into details on how to customize each of these add-ons the way you see them on my screen, but I'll be happy to make separate guides for them if that's something you're interested in, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Number one is details. This may not be something you look at all the time, but it's good to know who the actual damage dealers in your battleground group are, and if you're underperforming in comparison to the others, it's a good indicator. Also, if there's someone who's playing your spec and is rocking the damage chart while you're not, you can click on their name and see if they're doing something you're not. Unfortunately, they usually are, so it's a good idea to look into that. Number two is Gladius. This is just an amazing add-on for Arena, as it shows your enemies, their health and cast bars, their cooldowns and trinkets, all that stuff. In the beginning, some of these icons may seem unfamiliar if you've never played your opponent's class, but over time you'll start recognizing their abilities and start using them to your advantage, so it's good to get used to seeing them early on. Number three are threat plates. There are many nameplates add-ons out there, but threat plates is one of the best in my opinion. It's highly customizable and you can choose who gets the fancy nameplates and who doesn't, what's shown on them, what they look like, and how you want them displayed. It's highly recommended. Number four is DBM, specifically the PvP mod. DBM works really well for PvE as it tells you what to do in a raid and dungeon environment quite reliably, and can be invaluable for new players as it actually tells you what's happening to you, if you need to move or dispel something, and in general provides you useful information and hints on what you should be doing next, so you should definitely upgrade your DBM with this extension if you don't already have it. Number five is shadowed unit frames, and this is just a magnificent upgrade in comparison to Blizzard's frames and overall interface. I'll be honest, I've been putting it off for a long time as I had some sort of strange attachment to the Blizz frames, and I refused to change it for a long time, but it's time to get better at this game, and that involves me too. I mean, look at them. They're classy, they're beautiful, and there is so much useful information on it. The moment I decided to use it, I instantly got rid of the personal bar that's normally in the middle of my screen, as this one provides all the info I need for my characters and more, and I think you should get it too. Number six is MoveAnything. This one isn't so much PvP as it is for everything you do in WoW, as it allows you to move literally every single thing in your interface, and that's how I got my own frame and my enemy's frame to both be in the middle of the screen rather than hanging out on the top left corner, which is highly unnatural to look at in any PvP environment. Number seven is OmniCC, which adds those awesome big numbers on your spell buttons and helps you find out how long until your next cooldown spell is available, which is super useful. Number eight is Bartender 4, which is one of the more complex add-ons on the list, but with its help you can transform your action bars, get rid of useless information on it, hide the dragon art, position your spells, and most importantly, it allows you to keybind all your spells in such an easy way you'll never use the WoW integrated keybind system again. And you shouldn't, since those two don't get along. All you need to do is hover over a spell and press the button you want the spell to be bound to, and you're done. It's just as easy to delete your keybinds. Just hover over them and press escape on your keyboard and it's all gone. Number nine is WeakAuras 2. If you're in any kind of PvP environment, regardless of your class, you want to make sure you see what's going on with your casts, and there's no better way to do that than having your WeakAuras set up. They're specific for every class, and I did a few beginner's guides on how to set them up, with more coming up soon, so you can check those out. But in case you're looking for others' WeakAuras for your class and you don't mind getting used to another person's brain, you can check out wago.io and find yourself a whole setup to import that you'll love. As you can see, I'm using the cast bars as well as those gigantic icons to notify me which eclipse I'm in, because my brain really needs that, and I'll probably be changing a thing or two along the way, but that's it for now. Number 10 is Quartz, which is a cool little add-on that displays your cast bar in a lot better way, so you can see exactly how long your casts take, and it's a much more obvious way of letting you know that, stuff is happening. There's a Quartz extension that I'd like to mention as well, and it's called Quartz Power, and if you have a secondary power you want to have displayed, this is a cool way to do that. As you can see, my Eclipse info is also written down there as a separate little bar, but I'm a bit more visual than that and prefer the icons that cover half of my screen. Number 11 is H.H.T.D, or Healers Have to Die. Sorry healers, it's the law, and it says that whenever you're in a battleground or arena, you should be targeting healers first, as well as protecting yours, and this add-on helps you do both. If you're ever confused on which player you should be nuking, H.H.T.D is here to remove all your doubts. Number 12 is BattleGroundEnemies, and I pretty much always use it instead of the ordinary raid group grid. It's informational, provides info on both your group and the enemy one, and there's simply no excuse to not use it if you want to know who you're facing and who your teammates are, as well as what they've used when it comes to their cooldowns. Number 13 is Boomkinator, and it's really a cheat sheet when it comes to your rotation, not just for boomies but for several DPS classes. It's the spell grid you see in the middle of the screen, and it's a handy little way to show you which spells you should be spamming according to what's going on. And finally, number 14 is DontCast, which is a cool little add-on telling you when your opponent has used an ability that either eliminates or significantly reduces the incoming damage. That pretty much means you should give up and find another target. And that is my UI explained. It seemed confusing in the beginning, but hopefully it's more clear now and you have a better understanding on what you should be using as a beginner in PvP and why. If you want any of these add-ons explained further in the beginner's language, let me know in the comments, and if you now feel less lost in the PvP world, leave this video a like and subscribe for more cool stuff if you haven't done that yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more PvP guides. Good luck and bye bye.